What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new league racing video on the channel here today. We're back once again for Transnation eSports F2 Nationals, this time for round number 6 here at Silverstone. Now, coming into this, can't lie, confidence levels weren't high. The pace in the practice sessions that I'd done beforehand were not really that good, to be honest. Preset setup that I was running with really wasn't that good, and on top of that as well, I do struggle in these cars a little bit. The brakes are the one thing that I'm just really struggling to get my head around, so hopefully we can try and get more and more accustomed to these F2 2020 cars. But anyway, away we go for our one-shot quali lap now. Alright, and here we go, out of the final corner, across the line for a 1:39.063. Now that is actually the fastest lap I have done all weekend, as I was basically doing mid-39s all throughout practice. But when you look at the leaderboard, we are a long way off. 0.8 of a second off pole position. That is absolutely ridiculous. Honda takes pole on a 38.1. That's crazy. That is absolutely unreal. But anyway, Addy in P2 on a 38.4. Then TP in P3 with Mikey there in P4. So, yeah, decent qualifying from all of those guys. But P6, it's not, where I want to be, obviously. I mean, well, you guys know me, obviously. I always want to be at the front, trying to win every race that I am in, but yeah, it doesn't really look like that's probably going to happen today, to be honest. The pace is really not there, and well, there's no weather which is going to interfere, so that kind of, negates any advantage we might have gotten by running the increased downforce setup, as I think that's what I chose. It was either that or balanced. I actually can't remember. It was one or two, but yeah, anyway, so wait for the formation lap, and obviously, what we got? We got Ken in front of us, Spin and Win behind us. We'll see if that gamer tag is a prelude to what's going to happen at the start. And then Anthony, our teammate in the second ART, behind us there in 8th position. So fingers crossed both of us can have a good race here. And yeah, I think that's everything. So here we are, getting ready to roll for the feature race here at Silverstone. And away we go. Looks like a pretty decent start, it must be said. Ken gets a very average start, and I think we are going to get ahead of him into turn 1 here, up into P5. TP with a very slow start there, as well as he comes back over us there a little bit. We get all out of shape. Luckily, both of us hang on to it. That could have been a major disaster there for both of us there, but we get away with it just about. Still side by side through turn 3 and 4. Now turn 5. We're going to go right around the outside. We end up off the track there, but we do get ahead of the damn driver, and we don't get an illegal overtake for that. Now, I will be the first to admit, when that actually happened, I thought I was going to get an illegal overtake, so I was getting ready to get off the throttle and give the place back, but apparently that was perfectly fine. So yeah, anyway, press on, and let's try and get after the top 3 here if we can. They are just about holding station really at the moment. I say that, Mikey trying to go for a move on Addy there in the final corner. That's not really a normal overtaking opportunity, so just have to be a little bit patient to get the move done. I think Addy and Honda are both on hards, where Mikey's actually on softs, so he should have a major pace advantage over the Prima and Dams driver, as it looks like he has gotten the lead. Addy and Honda now side by side on the exit of the right-hander. Contact made, and Addy is being fired off into the barrier there. Disaster for the Prima driver. That is not what he needed in his championship bid. Honda looks like he's gotten away with no damage, so very lucky for the Dams driver. But crucially, what that has done has let Mikey get away. He's already out of the 1 second window, so he will not have DRS, Honda won't have DRS rather, on the Carlin in the lead. So we'll try and stick with him here and see if we can line up a move. Probably wishful thinking, considering the pace difference in qualifying, and on the very next lap we're now getting attacked by the other Dams of Thierry there, who tries to go for a move up the inside but doesn't quite make it stick. We get around the outside, and yeah, at this point, honestly, I was actually pretty annoyed because I felt like I was driving the car, you know, fairly well. I was making a few little mistakes, but they weren't major. But Honda was just on another level, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But anywho rather, I can't get the English out, sorry. But yeah, onto lap 4. Thierry once again going to try and get past us on the back straight here. This time he's a lot closer, and with DRS he gets up the inside and up into 3rd position. So we're going to try and get him back here if we can, but there's no way through unfortunately, so just trying to stick with him now. And on to lap 7, we have been able to do that thankfully, and well, honestly at this point I was growing a little bit concerned that we weren't even going to finish on the podium, because I think at this point I did have 2 warnings. Now the 2 guys behind Spinamwin and McKenzie there, they have penalties, 3 and 6 seconds respectively, so they're not really racing us at the moment, so we don't really have to worry about a threat from behind. I know Spinamwin is only half a second back, but he isn't technically racing us, as I said there a minute ago. But who we are technically racing is Thierry, who gets an appalling run out of the final corner there, getting all crossed up in the rear end, and we get the move done up into P2, effective P3, because Mikey has made a stop for the hard tyre. So yeah, back up into the podium positions, and at this point I was really I don't really know what the word is, to be honest. I was just really getting annoyed because yeah, I felt like, you know, as I was alluding to there a few minutes ago, I felt like I was driving the car really well, but the pace was just not there. So yeah, it's a bit confusing, not going to lie. But anyway, into the pits at the end of lap 10 for a set of soft compound tyres, and we're going to re-emerge, where are we, in P5, with Spinamwin and McKenzie there behind us as well. Both of those guys, however, do have penalties. Unfortunately, so do we as well. So yeah, we can't exactly you know, use penalties as an advantage to the guys behind now. But anywho, we continue on to the start of lap number 12. Thierry is coming a lap later for his set of soft compound tyres, and obviously with a lap undercut we have gained quite significantly on the Dams driver there. The gap out to 1.5 seconds, but with a lap fresher tyres and inevitably probably more pace in general, you would expect him to quite quickly close up to the back of us and try and make a move. Now the battle for the lead, as you can see, momentarily it was Mikey in the lead, but Honda on those new soft tyres very quickly closed up to the back of the car line, and as you can see, has already gotten straight up into the lead. So Honda just absolutely on rails here today. But speaking of on rails, there goes the other damn car of Terry back up the inside at Stowe there on the penultimate lap. We're going to try and get him back here. We lunge it up the inside. He leaves the space there, so very nice respectful driving from the Dams driver. We're going to try and look up the inside at the final corner, but no way through there. That was almost a Magnussen and Albon crash right there. But anyway, we continue on to the final lap of the race now, and at this point basically everybody apart from Honda has picked up a 3-second penalty or more. So if we want this podium, we are going to have to overtake Thierry on track here, which is going to be easier said than done, because the Dams driver, I do believe, is genuinely quicker than us. He has DRS, which is, or he has better pace, which is saving him, but we do have DRS rather. But unfortunately, he was just too quick through the middle part of the lap there, and even though we had DRS, it isn't going to be enough for us. We're not going to be close enough. We try and see if we could do something there into the penultimate corner, but there's nothing going on for us. So we are going to come across to P4, and from P6, I mean, we've gained 2 positions, so, you know, it's a good finish, but not where I want to be. So we got a little bit of work to do as we head over to the sprint race. Alright guys, so there we go, feature race done and dusted, and I think honestly that really is probably the best we could have gotten. I think we did well to actually stay with Thierry, considering the pace that I had during that race, and to be honest, I don't really see things improving for the sprint race, but anyway, we'll just have to make do with what we've got, and yeah, just see what we can do. Obviously the first few laps will be key, as the sprint race is reverse grid, so all the guys that were ahead of us in the feature are now behind us, so we've got a chance to maybe try and make something happen here, but we've got to have a lightning start. So here we go, 5 red lights, and away we go for the sprint race here at Silverstone. Looks like another decent launch. Ken goes absolutely nowhere off the line there, so once again 2 races in a row we're going to get him off the launch. Now we're up behind Spin and Win, the MP Motorsport car. We're going to look to get by into turn 1. We fake left, then go right, but we lock the rears and the front right, and it's all gone horribly wrong. The safety car is out, we're off in the weeds, and oh my god, what on earth has happened there? Well then, that's not gone well, has it? That's the worst start we could have hoped for. Now honestly, that move on Spin and Win at turn 3, yes, it was quite risky, but I felt like you know, I needed to get it done, because obviously the likes of Honda, Mikey, Addy, a couple of others, you know, they were right there behind us, so we needed to try and make up whatever ground we could as soon as possible. And you know, as the famous centre one said, if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver. So we tried it, didn't quite work. So yeah, anyway, we find ourselves now back in P12 at the restart here. We've got a disconnected car right in front of us here, so we'll get by him nice and easy there. So straight up to P11. Next up is Jadung and Mackenzie, but I think Mackenzie is disconnected, as I think he actually crashed in the feature race and then decided to, you know, leave, so good on you, Macca. But anywho, we get by his disconnected car, and that's now back up into the top 10. So we're not entirely out of a shout of points, but any hope of a podium is probably out the window right now, not going to lie, as we're already halfway into the race basically. So yeah, there's not really a lot of time to make ground up. We do set the fastest lap of the race there, but I think there was quite a bit of battling going on ahead of us, which aided us. But anyway, we get past J-Dunk and Addy there at the start of lap 6. I think Addy does have a bit of front wing damage on that Kramer, so not a good weekend for the Brit at his home Grand Prix. Taken out in the feature race and damage in the sprint, so the championship leader really not having a fun time of things at the moment. So he'll be looking to turn his fortunes around next time out at Hungary. But anyway, for us, onto lap 7, we're catching up to the back of Thierry and Spin and Win. And Spin and Win makes a odd mistake in turn 3 there. Basically it looks like he turned into the corner and then, yeah, just decided he wasn't going to turn in. So I'm not too sure what the deal was there, but we got basically handed a free position, so I'm not going to complain. But anyway, on to lap number 8, through the old turn 1. We get a nice run on kill switch there, and we should get this done, and we do. He backs out, gives us the spot, so that's up to P5. So we're putting in a very solid recovery drive at the moment, back into the top 5, and lo and behold, look who is ahead of us once again. Good old Thierry. We fought him basically the whole race in the feature, and now we're back fighting him in the sprint again, so can't seem to get away from him at the moment. But anywho, on to lap number 10, and I think that is our teammate Anthony there in P2, Mikey in P3, Thierry P4, ourselves P5. So there is a slim chance we do kind of need something to happen, maybe between Mikey and Anthony, but there is a slim chance that somehow we could actually come away with a P2 from this race. And considering everything that's going on, that would be absolutely unbelievable. So here we go, onto the final lap. There's contact there between Mikey and Anthony, the Carlin driver, with damage on the right front. You can see the end plate missing. But now we make another mistake into turn 3 there. We lock the rears. That's the danger of using 50 on the brake bias. And that has let Mikey back through. So we're back down to P5. We are just about within the 1 second window though. So we might still have a chance of bringing this home in P4, maybe P3, as I think Anthony has a penalty. And you can see Mikey does have 5 seconds there. But you guys know me, obviously. I don't like to win races or get positions on penalties. I like to get them on track. So here we go, Mikey struggling through Stowe. We're very close to the back of the Carlin. So here we go. We're going to try a move into the penultimate corner. We send it up the inside. A little bit of contact made there. Still side by side. Honda wins the sprint race again. Very good drive from the damn driver, but we aren't going to quite get through. We get a 3 second there as we cross the line as well. So that's always a good way to finish off a race. So yeah, probably would have been P3, but in the end it's P6. So yeah, that kind of sucks a little bit, but you know, we had a go, didn't quite work. Alright, so there we go guys, that's been today's video. The F2 Nationals from Bahrain, from Britain, Silverstone rather. Where the hell how do you get Bahrain and Britain confused? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, as I was trying to say, that's been today's video. Round number 6 of the Transnation eSports F2 Nationals here from Silverstone. And not a great weekend for us, to be honest. Yeah, the pace just wasn't there, so we've got some work to do as we head off to, I think it's Hungary is the next round, so fingers crossed we can turn our fortunes around a little bit there. So yeah, hope you guys are excited for that. But as you guys know, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really appreciate the support, and until the next video, I'll see you all next time.